I'm Deepthi here, founder of saltworld, and we have a special guest here, Archana Rathnavel, who talks about sleep, and and there are a lot of intense research about the sleep and the work because of the work from home pattern, and sleep patterns have been intensely impacted. So it has also been mentioned in the translation medicine research. It's an article which is mentioned over there. It's a research article which has been mentioned that a lot of because of this work from home era, there are a lot of sleep patterns and the lifestyle disturbances. So here we have Archana Rathnavel who will be talking about sleep, and we would like to invite her and then thank her for visiting us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deepthi, for the warm welcome.
Sure. And we have, since the time that we have put across that we are going to talk about this topic, there are a lot of questions which has been raised about the sleep and how it has been impacted, and how they are feeling the problems due to the sleep and kind of things. And firstly, let us understand, like from our expert, what is sleep basically. And before that, I would like to tell that she's an expert in she's a clinical psychologist who have intense experience in NIMHANS, and so we have invited her to talk about the sleep.
Thank you. Thank you once again. So, getting back to your question of what is sleep, before that, I just want you to understand that what you are doing today, it's one of the most important topic that is worldwide being discussed. And we also knew, like in an everyday basis, one or the other have the common sleep disturbances. So I'm glad that you invited me for today's talk. So yes, so getting back to your question of what is a sleep, I'm sorry today now I have to talk about a little bit of a biological perspective, but I make sure that it's not in-depth biological perspective, but little bit of a biological perspective. So what is sleep? So there's no definite definition for a sleep per se, but what we understand as a sleep is a set of regulated behaviors that is very important for our physical and mental well-being. So there are basically two types of sleeps. One is NREM sleep, that is non-REM sleep, which is mainly for our physical vitals to calm down. And next is a REM sleep, which will basically regulate the memory and the learning part. And there are 5 stages of sleep which we all go through. So sleep itself, if you see, it is kind of a cycle. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 and stage 5. So stage 1 is basically a transition sleep, which is like, okay, you go to bed, you just lie down and close your eyes, and then it will last for 10 minutes. Then you go to the second stage of sleep, where you go to the inner, not into a very deeper level of a sleep, but to the light sleep, which lasts for 5 to 10 minutes. Then you go to the deep sleep. So deep sleep is where you actually in the process, it's what we say, it is more or less in the middle stage of the sleep. So in the middle stage of the sleep, you are in the process of awake and also process of getting deep inside. So in this sleep, if someone wakes you up, you suddenly become cranky and irritable.
Okay.
Next is the deep stage of sleep, which is very important stage for that is important for our vitals to balance. And the last stage is a REM sleep, which is the deepest stage of the sleep which is important for our memory and for our learning.
Okay.
So this is little bit of biology of sleep and all, but I don't want to get more into that than the agenda for today's interview maybe.
True. And why is it so important for a human being? The sleep is being a fundamental thing for a human being. So why it is considered as a very important thing for
right. So sleep, if I have to answer why it is important, it is a necessity. Just like how food, water is necessary for our lives, similarly sleep is also necessity pattern. But what happens is, like throughout, because of various lifestyle changes, we don't think it is a necessity. We just abandon sleep because of various other behaviors. So just to highlight some of the important things, how sleep helps us. 1, it increases our concentration. Next, it increases our memory and learning. And the third is like one thing just I wanted to highlight here is like sometimes when we are really stressed out, we feel like I just don't want to sleep. I'm not getting a sleep. So what happens is there are multiple thoughts that is keep running, or there might be multiple problems that be going on and we don't be able to get sleep. But what happens during that point of time, sleep is very important. So that will in fact increase our problem solving capacity. So you're just relaxed and calming down. So that's why sleep is also important. And sleep also important for the children, kids, toddlers, teenagers to enhance their creativity.
Okay.
All right.
So actually, there's another thing. It's like initially this work from home era started, right? At the time, everybody felt it's a nice opportunity, right? Like it looks so lucrative that everybody works from home and kind of. And gradually, the studies shows that it has been very much impacted, and the sleep pattern and the lifestyle it is gone for the thing. So what is your opinion on that?
Alright. So before answering this question, I just want to ask you, what was your first thought when if you know that your family is going to be in the home settings, work from home settings?
I feel that okay, everybody is available whenever we want them, but that is not the case when it came to the reality. Yeah.
So what happened throughout? What was actually going on? How it impacted? What from your experience it's not?
Initially when they said that there is a work from home, then I felt like my husband is going to be at home, and whenever I want to attend the meeting I can attend because he's available so that I can park my child with him. So but that is not the reality. It is like every time he's fixed with his laptop, and I need to concentrate on many issues. So even he's doing the same thing, so everybody is in the same chaotic situation. That is what happened.
So to be very honest with you, even I was in the same situations, like where I thought, okay, it's a work from home setting, so everyone is at home and I can take a proper, everyone takes the individual responsibility. But over a while, what had happened is like, yes, first 1 or 2 months, it seems to be okay, fine. Everyone is at home, the roles are divided and everything. But lately, we have lost a balance of managing our work life and personal life. So before the pandemic starts, we had a normal work life and a personal life. Of course, we all had some difficulty in managing or balancing the work life and personal life. But when we enter into the pandemic stage and when it is work from home, so the role structure changed, the routine changed, the responsibilities changed. Someone with the work from home will be having a meeting, at the same time there will be a child crying, and then hence the meeting that has to be happen will be either rescheduled and you have to attend the child. So and now we have to incorporate our children's online classes also in between. So the routine itself is lost. So when there's a routine is lost, so if you have to say 24 hours is what we have. Before the pandemic, okay, we get up early, we get up in the morning, we do our routine, we go back to office, come back, then spend some time, then again some meetings are there, then chalo, just sleep. But what happens in this? There's no routine. There's no balance. You have to take care of everyone at the home.
And so every time.
So the biological clock, which is very crucial for the sleep, is getting disturbed.
True. So we'll postpone everything. Like after the child sleep, we'll start our work. So that goes on, and we'll sleep in the late night, which hampers the sleep. So
exactly. So our biological clock is getting disturbed.
Definitely.
Because of work from home. So this is something related. Of course, there are other mental health issues also which we face during the work from home.
Definitely. So we have come across another few set of questions from our clients who have opted for sensory deprivation experience for their sleep disorders. Also, they do take this kind of therapies. So for improving their sleep. So it's one of the main question what has been asked is, why is it so difficult for me to sleep? So that looks so common question, but it is difficult for them, so they have put across this way. And what are the parameters that impacts the sleep?
So first thing I have to tell is like just little bit of fact is there are certain hours of sleep which is required for an individual. For example, if it is an infant, the infant needs 16 to 20 hours of sleep. For example, it is a the toddler requires 14 to 16 hours of sleep. Then if it is a preschool and school age, they require around 11 to 12 hours of sleep. for example, it is a teenagers, they require 9 to 10 hours of sleep. In adults, we require 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. So this is the recommended sleeping hours for an individual. But what is happening is like why it is impacting one, it may be because of how your body is functioning, and that is one of the main roles. So the sleep pattern itself happens on mainly on the four more criteria, I would say. So the one is a physical issue. So if you are physically well, healthy and all, then you may get a proper sleep. But if you have any physiological disturbances like a pain, then you may have some disturbances in the sleep. The next comes the medical comorbidities, like if you have any breathing difficulties or any other medical comorbidities like maybe hypertension, then you may have some impact on your sleep. The third is about the psychiatric disturbances, so which involves like if you are psychological issues, we have a constant anxiety, constant low mood, and you are literally very stressed out, then that may also have an impact on your sleep. But if you have a balanced psychological well-being, then you will have a good chances of getting sleep. The fourth is the environment. So when I meant to say environment, it is not just the physical environment of the light, fan or other things, but environment in your home. So suppose if you are, one example that I can just think of is like when you have a newborn in the family, the child will be keep crying in the night, or it be like we have difficulty in putting the child to sleep. So it kind of disturbs the family. But I would not say that as a negative, but that is just one of the example. The other example I would give is the family, which is have a lot of issues going on, and they're each and everyone is finding difficult to sleep, or difficult to sort out the issues. Then there's a lot of noise. So sleep. And the other interesting thing that I just come across is like we are all living in a apartmental setup, at least most of us living in an apartmental setup. So what happens is like we all have this common corridor where the lights are still on. Sometimes some of the lights do enter into our bedrooms and other things. That may also have some kind of an impact in our sleep.
So you say that it should be pitch dark when they sleep?
Yes. So what is most important in the sleep is you need to have a proper environment, quiet, calm, dark environment. That also plays a very important role in sleep.
Okay. So when you say that duration of the sleep, so there is another query saying that like what is very important is the duration of the sleep, or the if it is intense sleep, the sound sleep. Even if it's a shorter period, if I have a sound sleep or power nap for that matter, like what is the best thing, or which one is recommended, or is it depends on the individual, whatever you feel about it?
It is maybe, of course, it depends on the individual, but also what happens is like, for example, you work throughout the day. And then suddenly you feel like, especially during the lunchtime, if you notice like around 2 o'clock, an adult will be having a good lunch and will be, I just wanted to sleep, what can I do? But I have to work, what to do? But then during the 2 to 4 hours, like 2 to 4 p.m., they will be in that state of a drowsiness. But we fight with that, and some of them try to work. But when you feel that, or any period of time, if you feel like you're really tired, very drowsy, which is a signal to you saying that, okay, your body and your brain needs rest. So taking power naps is good, but not continuously. But whenever you see these signals, it's good. There is no specific, okay, how many, this is taking a short nap is bad or not. That's not a thing. But that's actually a signal that the brain is giving to you that your body needs rest. So
that is, yeah. And actually there's another query that's very curious also to for many, I think, like what is dreams, like why do we dream, and why do I have a bad dream or a good dream, and whether it is related, what is it related, what does it say, why should I get that kind of dream? So is there any research about it, or do you have any opinion on that?
Okay, so dreams. What is your view on dreams? Just curious to know from your side.
See, there are at good times I get good dreams. when I get irritated, and I feel it is more towards what has happened before I get into the bed. That's what I feel. And sometimes I feel that some weird dreams also comes up, and I don't even know why it is coming. So
All right. So, have you ever asked your children or any other kids, okay, what did they dreamt of?
yeah, very often my daughter keeps, as soon as she wakes up, if she remembers half of the dream, she says that she forgot the rest of the dream.
Yeah.
But most of the time she gets very good and positive dreams. At times she get very bad dream. For her it's like suddenly mom is not next to me, she's gone leaving me out
Okay.
for some some place or something like that. That's the maximum bad dream for her. So
So that's interesting. So what happens is, like, basically if you see from the kids' perspective, it is their creativity. So what dreams is basically, it's the stories or the creativity that our mind works with it. There are, of course, just like how people are curious, is there are many neuroscientists who are still working on to understand how do we get a dream. But there are few interesting research that had come across. So when the dream comes to the children, they're really not bothered. They just let it go. But what happens is, like, as we grow up, we are constantly thinking about those dreams, and we are able to recall those dreams. So some of the dreams makes us happy, some of the dreams makes us sad, some of the dreams makes us perplexed, some of the dreams makes us like worrying. What is happening is some of the things. So in psychology, what we understand dream is, like, basically that is something that is deep rooted inside us, that are some of our internal conflicts that is there, which is coming across as a dreams. Or it could be of any trauma that is deep inside, and that is something we are just suppressing deep inside, and this just coming across in the form of dreams. If I have to ask some of them, most of them would not be able to recall all the dreams, but they're able to recall only some of the dreams which is stood by them. So and when we interpret it, there are a lot of other issues that comes in as well. So there is no particular answer why dreams come in, because neuroscientists are still working on it.
Okay.
But these are some of the psychological perspectives when it comes to dream.
Sure. And the stress and dream and sleep, there is is there any proper relationship between these three?
There are some of the connections with that, but we cannot really say only because of the stress we are getting a bad dreams. The stress, in fact, has 3 stages. Like, one, it's, let's say, an acute stage, then an episodic stage, then it's a chronic stress. So we cannot really say that only because of stress we are getting a dream. But of course, stress has an impact on a different note. For example, you're going to a bed. Before the bed, you have to work on one of the deadlines. So that was constantly running in your mind, and then you just suddenly sleep without your consciousness. Okay, that deadline comes to your dream, and you suddenly woke up.
So that happens.
That happens. And sometimes if you notice, the kids would be watching, or the parent would be reading a book, and then some of them, they visualize that, and then they go to dream. And the next day morning, they would tell to their parents, I saw the dinosaur in my dream.
Yeah, I could relate this.
Right.
Yeah, fishes coming to the house.
Yeah.
So these kind of dreams, yeah, I can imagine, like, I can relate it to my kids' dreams also. And mainly, the thing is, like, I can understand this COVID and all these things had a very bad impact on the sleep. But why is it after recovery also they still have the problems? Because many of my connections had the COVID, and then once they had come out of it, but still they are suffering with the sleep problems.
So when it related to the COVID and the sleep, of course, still there are multiple research that's been going on, but I just would like to answer it from my clients' experiences, or what I had observed and all is like. So when the COVID comes to you, the first thing that comes to any normal human being is anxiety. because the way the media had portrayed, the way we get to know from our friends, I mean, whether it's a first wave or second wave, whatever the wave is, COVID itself is becoming a negative word. So when you say that this is COVID, then the first thing that comes is anxiety. Okay, fine, I got a COVID. What next? There are a lot of, again, the changes. Already because of pandemic, there are a lot of changes. And once you get a COVID, again, there's a lot of changes. So you go into quarantine, you have to take care of the kids, you have to take care of the parents, you have to take care of the housework itself. Or if you are a bachelor, then you are all alone in the room. There's no one to help. Who's running around? So other environmental factors also creates an anxiety. So when you are anxious, it is very difficult to sleep. But what happens in the COVID is like you require proper rest and sleep. But there are some of the times, yes, we have some of the people, they have enough help and support and works, but some of them, they really have to restructure, reorganize their entire routine when they get a COVID, and plus the health morbidities and everything. It becomes so exhausted. So the mind gets exhausted, the body gets exhausted, and you go to sleep, you're not able to sleep, the thoughts keeps running. That happens during the COVID. But however, understand, like when you are going something like this, there are people around to help you and support. And it is important that you talk to someone else about if you feel any mental exhaustion. Okay, this happens. What happens after COVID recovery? Your body is still tired. You need to allow your body to recover from the COVID impact, whatever happened. It is not like a common fever. So COVID also has other impacts that affects your neurological aspects also. So other thing, this is more of a biological, but what happens psychologically is like you try to compensate what has been missing, what you missed during the COVID. For example, if you are a working employee, during the COVID you would get enough time, but then to take rest. But after the COVID comes, there's kind of a immense pressure. Okay, so you need to compensate what you have missed. Again, the entire restructure happens at the house.
Sure.
You're stressed. And what also happens is, so you really work on your routine and you wanted to sleep, but you're not able to sleep, or else you literally force yourself to sleep, and you sleep and suddenly you get up and you feel extremely anxious. Oh my God, I just got up from sleep. Now I have to work really hard to sleep, but I'm unable to. So then the sleep impacts. So it is again biological, psychological, and everything plays a role. During the COVID also, there's some kind of level of difficulty. After COVID also, there's some level of difficulties. So it is all intervened. So we say is that mind and body are interconnected.
Yes.
So when we have a fever, normal fever, we like, okay, apply for a leave and take a proper sleep and all. But when we have a COVID, we have to restructure everything.
True.
So
very nice discussion actually. So if you have come across any such queries from your clients, which is so very interesting or which is more common, and you want to share those things, you can share it across.
So, I mean, more than what from my clients, what they answer or what they say, I just wanted to tell something which is very important regarding sleep. Understand that sleep is not a lifestyle change. It is your necessity. So, what happens is when you have a lot of work, the only thing you compensate is sleep. Mostly,
yes.
So if you are someone who sleeps by 9:30 and when you are extremely stressed out and worked out, you compensate in sleep and go by 12 o'clock. That's same for the kids also. For example, if they are on the board exams, you compensate on the parents. Sometimes they compensate on their children's sleep and then they go. I had seen some. That's why I'm saying. But sleep is one of the most important vitals that is required to keep your mind and body balanced. So some of the things that can be practiced when if you have any sleep difficulties is something called as a sleep hygiene. Just like how you take care of your personal hygiene, just like how you take care of yourself, there's something called as a sleep hygiene.
It's a new term.
Yes, exactly. It's not a new term. It is something that people doesn't know much about.
Maybe.
Okay, the sleep hygiene is very important. So first factor to get a proper sleep is based on your diet and the diet and the substance intake. So take proper healthy food, And especially before your sleep, don't hurriedly eat and go to sleep. So it is important that you sleep 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. Something which is nutritious. That doesn't mean that you have to eat that so that your stomach is full. Something that is nutritious and that something makes you give some kind of an energy. And avoid having all the substances, alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, because those are some of the things that will hamper. So just avoid it. We all feel that okay, I drink a lot and now I get a sleep. Yes, alcohol do initiate sleeps, but what happens is like it reduces your metabolism of sleep.
The quality of sleep
Yes,
goes
the
off.
quality of sleep goes off, as you correctly said. So that is one of the things. So diet and substance is very important. Next is exercise. So exercise is something which is keep you more balanced. One, it's like exercise sometimes makes you active also. There is one common myth, okay, I do an exercise so I have enough tiredness so I can go to sleep. No. It's not that way. Yes, you may feel, body may feel tired, but then what is happening in your mind? What's happening in your brain? It's actually activating you. So exercise before your sleep is not advisable. Maybe late in the evening is something I would suggest. So that is with regard to the exercise.
Okay.
Third is your behavior. Behaviors have actually immensely changed in work from home era. So what happens, you go to bed, you see a light, you use your mobile phones, read. I mean, the blue light itself makes you active.
Okay.
So that is there. Or sometimes you have your office and your bedroom is on the same place. Sorry. So what happens, you will be just working and then you will send a mail, just close it and just leave. So you're not giving, the light impact is still there. So that behavior is something you can change. Even brushing your teeth and then the light is still on, that light's impact. So that is one of the behaviors. Some of these behaviors needs to be changed. And the other important thing is your thoughts. The most important is thoughts. Bed is a place to sleep. It's not to ruminate about what is happening, what was happening, how you can solve it, what can you do, so how can I work on the deadlines. So just because of thinking about all those things, do you think really your problem or your deadlines or whatever it is going to work on, it's not, isn't it?
True, yeah.
So bed is a place to sleep. If you feel like constant disturbances because of this ruminating thoughts and other things, take a time out, sit in a place, relax yourself, and then just write about those thoughts. Understand what is exactly going on. Then you go to bed and sleep. Bed is not place to think about thoughts. It's place to sleep.
Rest everything.
Yes, rest is everything. And the fourth, some of the other things I just wanted to impact is like if you are someone who's having a constant sleep difficulties, not able to get sleep or getting up in between and I'm not able to sleep at all, not able to get back because of sleep, don't try to. So if you are getting up around, let's say around 2 or 2:30 and you are unable to go back to sleep, don't really push yourself to sleep. Take a time out. Because the more you push it, the more on frustration and upset you get it. Try to do something else. Let your body, again the cycle has to repeat. So it will calm down on its own and you will go to sleep. So don't do that and follow a sleep diary to understand more about your sleep. What time you are getting up, okay, what was happening, why are you not able to sleep, how did you sleep, rate your sleep.
Okay. So we can also rate our sleep.
Yes, on 0 to 10, whatever you want to do. Are you satisfied, not satisfied? Have your own ratings and understand. Appreciate it if you get a good sleep. And current with work from home era, I understand the routine is basically depending on what is happening in the home and what is happening in the work. But try to have a routine and make sure that you get good 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. So,
sure. It's a very nice discussion actually. And more than everything, because of the sleep, because of the lack of sleep, we can see many accidents also happening. There are many societal issues also. It's like accidents and someone getting irritated and then beating someone because they get bugged up for every small things.
True.
They get anxiety, stress and everything because of the sleep, and it impacts the society as well.
Exactly.
So we have to make sure that we sleep well, and others also will be
So
in a very good form.
Balanced way.
Balanced way.
True.
So let's actually concentrate and prioritize sleep, at least from now on.
Just like how you prioritize your food,
sleep
is also your priority.
Sleep is also a priority. True. And actually, we have a lot of clients who have come for anxiety, stress, sleep disorder, and all these things for the sensory deprivation tank. And also, we have clients for because of the snoring and such things. Also, they could not sleep better.
Exactly.
So their respiratory issues also gets hampered. So for that also, we have a salt cave therapy, which is
interesting.
And this is the place where we do the salt room therapy. So nice, and guys can stay connected for more queries also. Like if you have any other sleep related or how saltworld can help you on sleep and everything, you can just ping us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepti.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Yeah.